Hello, in this video we are going to go through the two main ways to show how we multiply polynomials together. For this video, I am going to do the same problem twice, showing both of the different methods and talking through them. If the first method you see isn't the one you like using, skip ahead in the video to find your particular method. So as we go to do this, there are two methods. One is called the box method, one is called the arrow method, and it's just two different visual organization methods to help you make sure that the things that need to be multiplied together get multiplied together. So as I go through this, the first method I'm going to do is you are going to hear me call this the arrow method because it looks like I'm just drawing arrows. And then the box method I'll do here in a couple minutes. So to get started on the arrow method, the big idea behind this is we know how to distribute. We have distribute for years. When we distribute, we are drawing arrows from the piece on the outside to the things that are getting multiplied on the inside. And when we're multiplying polynomials together, we're just doing this distribution multiple times. What this is going to look like is you are going to see me draw arrows from our first term to the other polynomial, like that. And I'm going to draw arrows from the second term to that polynomial as well. This is showing that the 2x here needs to get multiplied by 3x and -6, as well as 5 needs to get multiplied by 3x and -6 as well. Then I would go through and start doing this multiplication. I would take 2x times 3x, 2 times 3 is 6, and x times x is x squared. As a reminder, when I multiply the same base together, I am going to add my exponents. I would then take 2x times -6. 2 times -6 is -12, and the x follows. Now, you may see this problem continued horizontally. So far in my experience, that's okay. But what I am seeing is it makes more sense for students to make our work look in line with what we're doing when we're adding and subtracting. So what you are going to see me do is when I go to multiply 5 times 3x, instead of putting that answer right here, I'm going to go below what I just did. I'm not going to put it in the first spot, but I'm going to shift it over 1. And we'll see why here in a second. So I would take 5 times 3x, and that's going to give me positive 15x. I would take 5 times -6, and that gives me -30. Now, when we are doing things in math and when we are writing an answer, grammatically, we do not write the same thing more than once. And as I say thing, I'm talking terms. I'm saying, hey, if I want to make sure that anything to the same power, I only write once. So when I go to write my answer, I am going to add these two rows together. So I'm going to add the red and blue. And now you're seeing why this is organized the way it was. I will take 6x squared and add it to 0x squared. I will take -12x plus 15x. I will take 0 plus -30 and get -30. Now, when I multiply these two things together, what is my answer? My answer is 6x squared plus 3x minus 30. Now, a couple of other things I don't want to forget is the other verb you will see used is expand, because we start with two binomials and we end with a trinomial. I could also say, hey, simplify this. that works the same as well. So this was the arrow method. You saw me draw the arrows. You saw me then do the multiplication and finally combine my like terms. What we are going to switch over to is the box method. So I'm going to go ahead and erase all of my work. Whatever. Now, when I do the box method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a box with my two polynomials. So my first polynomial, I'm going to write vertically. And notice I am keeping the signs. I see +5, so I write +5. I'm going to write my second polynomial vertically. And I am going to make a box. Now, just like before, this is a visual strategy to make sure the things that need to be multiplied together get multiplied together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and fill in each of these 4 boxes by multiplying the row and the column. So as I do this, I would take 2x squared times 3x and get 6x squared. I would take 2x times 6 and get negative 12x. I would get 15x and negative 30. If you're watching this whole video, you're noticing I'm getting the same things. It just looks different, and you're going, hey, which one do I prefer? Now, once we have this done, if I have like terms, typically they are going to live on this diagonal, but that very much depends on like the specifics of the problem and like, hey, do the powers line up and things like that. I would still go and combine my like terms. I would still write this in standard form. So I would still write this 6x squared plus 3x minus 30. But this is the box method. And so as you're watching me do this, the first thing we did was set up the box. We filled it in by multiplying the rows and columns together. We combined our like terms, and then we wrote our answer. Now, there are other videos out there that will talk about the box or the arrow method and look a little bit different. If you have questions about what you're seeing here, please be sure to let me know. But otherwise, this is how we would multiply 2 binomials together using both methods presented in class.